On BBC Choice, we've got a special edition of Liquid News following the death of Christopher Price yesterday.
Liquid News, a tribute to Christopher Price.
He was a brilliant broadcaster as he was. Very funny, very cutting, very professional, and he'll be sadly missed.
Without ever hurting anybody or being unpleasant about anyone, he managed to treat the whole culture of celebrity with the utter contempt it deserved.
He was just adorable. I mean, a big teddy bear. Great fun, easy to work with.
The only man on national television that would ever make me drop my trousers would be Christopher. The only person I'd do it for would be for Christopher.
This is 0:30, the only daily roundup of the day's arts and entertainment news on British television. The fate of Britain's biggest free dance festival is hanging in the balance tonight. West Yorkshire police are threatening to stop Radio 1's Love Parade from going ahead this weekend. The police say they're not sure their security can cope with the expected 500,000 partygoers. Now, Anna Kournikova is about as good at tennis as I am at fathering children, but that hasn't stopped her flaxen hair and natural loveliness conquering the male-dominated world of yellow furry balls. She's now got a Keep Fit video out, but is it any good?
This is under the heading of Liquid News Sport, is it? Carry on.
Yes, it is. I am on the throne tonight, which is good. Now, I have an official statement to say this is actually one of the thrones used in the actual wedding.
No.
It is. It's been excuse me, I'm being a liar early on in this show. This is where Posh sat. She sat on this particular one at the actual wedding. I promise you, it's a guaranteed truth. Good evening, I'm Christopher, and this is a Liquid News Robbie Night special. He's talented, lovable, and vulnerable, but what will he do next? He's just so lovable, isn't he, when you watch him? Nick, is he gay?
I don't know. I haven't slept with him.
You've seen his penis, though, haven't you?
I have, actually. Yeah.
No, it was just that Danny made the point that maybe it could be quite small.
Oh, just getting funky there. Just a little bit. It is true. I've got to come out of the closet. I've got to tell you all. It's not Panto Boys. I am a Eurovision fan. Grandpops, I've told you it live on television now is out.
Complete the sentence, I should be so lucky to do something.
To have a goddamn arrest. No, did I say that out loud?
Let the bitterness roll.
I am so lucky.
It's never too late to.
Oh my God. To everything I think of before it comes out of my mouth. To touch me quite sexually is what you're grasping for. What's your favourite flower?
Stroke me.
Stroke you.
Bangkok Ladyboy. Are you kind of against that or are you into that? Obviously not literally.
Yeah, that sounds like a trick question, man. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
No, nor do I. Like... You know, being in a pop band these days, it's like being in a diplomatic corps. What's wrong with you, you humans? You're allowed to say, I'll prefer Kylie over Posh.
Steps, we're just nice to everyone.
You young, bright, intelligent adults, give me something real about yourself.
I like to...
How close can we go to his face?
How close can we go to his face? I'm not very technical about that, but I think we're going to try.
Because, you know, let's not beat around the bush. We do want to see a close-up. Excuse me, mister. You've just flown in, haven't you? This is why you're a bit tired.
I'm a wreck, man. I didn't get a sleep. But I'll go to bed after I go out for about 8 hours tonight.
Are you going out tonight?
Me and Travis are going out.
Yeah, we're going out,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's been about 3 months.
You're P. Diddy Schmuffy Puffy Thingy's manager, aren't you?
No, I'm just his friend. I put him in my movie.
What do you call him?
Oh, he was great in that.
I call him...
He was fun.
I call him Sean.
Why can't we call him Sean? No, seriously, we can't. We don't know where we stand. 1 minute we're Shuffy Huffy Muffy, and next we're P. Diddy Dadley Diddley.
Ewan, we're live
Who's
on
she?
air at
Get
the
off out of the way. Lovely. Go for it,
Thank you very
Ewan.
much for joining us.
Loving your teeth.
So,
You are the new Buddha.
Upcoming from the bedroom, shush, from the bedroom to the big time. Everyone just talk over me.
No, sorry, we're going to talk about him now.
Coming up, we climb under the duvet with UK's #1 artist of the week, Mr. Daniel Bedingfield. Robert, they're coming closer to you. How are you feeling?
They are indeed. Let me try and shout out here and see whether he'll come over. Mr. Jackson, BBC.
Is that your polite voice, Robert? Ask him if he liked having his hair
Somebody was
shaved.
suggesting that the first... the host of the show, Christopher Price, you've probably heard of him, haven't you?
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, that was a yes. You had your head shaved for it. How was that? Did you enjoy that?
Is that his question?
That's his question.
That's a terrible question,
He looked
Chris.
gorgeous. I liked him.
This guy do not play, yo. Yo, I never want to be on his bad side, yo. yo, he do not play.
Yeah, I can kung fu with the best of it.
I quite simply adored him. I loved going out with him. I loved spending time with him. He was somebody who I enjoyed being around. And I was very proud to have called him my friend, and I'm going to miss him terribly.
It's a real shock. He was an excellent broadcaster. I mean, a lot of people said, oh, he had great potential, but, you know, he was a brilliant broadcaster as he was. Very funny, very cutting, very professional, and he'll be sadly missed.
What he did so well was, without ever hurting anybody or being unpleasant about anyone, he managed to treat the whole culture of celebrity with the utter contempt it deserved.
He was just adorable. I mean, a big teddy bear, great fun, easy to work with. I mean, Liquid News was just one of those dream jobs that the phone go, they say, oh, come and do Liquid News. You go, yeah, great.
It's quite rare when you meet someone who's on television every day and yet doesn't seem to be obsessed with their own persona or fame, and you know, it's, like I said, that's not particularly frequent in television, so it's refreshing.
But I just thought he was a natural broadcaster, and I don't know anyone who spent any time in his company who didn't come away thinking he was terrific.
Even with very hard news, he was always looking for the lighter touch, he was always looking for a bit of humour, and he had plenty of that. He was quite cutting and he could be quite sarcastic, and I loved the style.
I think the main thing about Christopher is he was just never anything but himself. He was just incredibly original, and he's just a delight.
You would sit on that sofa and you'd say, so, Emma Bunton, what do you reckon? And you'd go, nice, jolly, blonde hair, fun, keen on pink. And he'd go on, Claude. And you'd go, ghastly?
If people were a little bit too false or high pressure, he sort of backed away from a lot of all that. He wasn't that interested in being a part of it, just loved reporting on it and sort of sneaking into a few of those parties, you know, with the Liquid News cameras and just hanging back and going, how tragic is this lifestyle? This is hilarious.
I'll describe Christopher as a big ball of loveliness and cuddles and fun and laughter.
He was my best friend, and all of the things that a best friend brings to any kind of relationship he had. He was reliable, he was funny, he was always there to pick me up when I was going through rough times. I hope a lot of the time I was there for him.
One of the day's news stories now, the Italian ice cream salesman Luciano Pavarotti has appeared in an Italian court to face tax evasion charges. The former Weight Watcher of the Year has pleaded not guilty to filing in false tax returns from 1989 to 1995. Lucky Luciano says he shouldn't pay because he sweats most of the time in Monte Carlo, not in Italy. If convicted, he faces up to 3 years in a specially reinforced pasta cell made of deep frozen whole wheat spaghetti. Facts from BBC News.
It's making me laugh, this show. I should watch this.
Yes. Some more Days Music Stories. The So Solid crew, Booyakasha, are planning a Secret Squirrel gig for next Monday. They hope this will make up for the national tour they had to cancel because too many hoodlums love their hoedowns. The crew will perform a one-off gig for Radio 1, which will be recorded at a secret location, John Lewis, Oxford Street. They scrapped the tour last month when police advised venues to cancel following a shooting during a So Solo Boom night in the capital. Mockney Cockney Sparrow Eliza Doolittle's in the money. That's just 18 weeks after she started going down a treat up west, which is something I've done. The stage... Oh, stop it. Stop. You're pandering now. It's cheap. News now of Lisa Steps turning not so much a deeper shade of blue, but a vivid crimson after being caught showing off more than just her dental braces. It's emerged that Lisa was cautioned by police in Dublin after they got an eyeful of a full moon hanging out of the Steps car window. Those are exclusive pictures we have. There's H on the right. The man who wrote the Hokey Cokey, Larry Laprise, has died peacefully at the age of 83. The song and dance have long been favourites of celebrities around the world. Reports say, though, that the most traumatic part for Laprise's family was the burial. They put his left leg in, and things just started to go downhill from there. We were also hoping to have Lemmy on the sofa. This is actually breaking news. I'm reading this to you as I read it. He turned up a few minutes ago, but when we said he wasn't allowed to smoke on the set because of fire regulations, he left the building. We even bought him a Jack Daniels and Coke in the BBC bar, which is his favourite tipple of choice, but he wouldn't stay. He has gone. This is literally coming to us from our own green room. Sky News info face Frank Partridge, who was sacked for cracking co-presenter Kay Burley around the chops, is reportedly trying to get his job back. Unfortunately, Sky refused to let us use a picture of Frankie Knuckles, as he's now known. Frank, who was one of the children in the original US TV series The Partridge Family, got his marching orders just before Christmas after fessing up to hitting Live at 5 anchor Burley during a hissy fit in their dressing room. The domestic was over. Who got to say goodbye at the end of their bulletin? Tom Cruise is having a big pearly last laugh after his new movie Vanilla Sky went straight into #1 in America, even though the critics gave it a pontiff's pasting. Tom and his Spanish love Satsuma, Penelope Cruz, are now clicking their heels and heading to Oz for the film's premiere there on Wednesday. Nicole Kidman, though,
I don't think it'll go down well in Australia.
Left town to avoid the couple, and some Australians have even been booing the cinema.
The no Australians are terribly patriotic. They'll be sticking up for Nicole. You completely gone. What's wrong with you?
He was completely unique. You know, there are loads of kind of banal, run-of-the-mill TV presenters out there, especially, you know, now multi-channel TV. But he was completely different.
Even if there isn't any filth there, he would find some filth. Like Noel from Hearsay trying to find a new member and that sort of thing. Was it just all, you know, you just tune in for that.
He always joked about how superficial the celebrity world was, and I think you could just see him really laughing about people taking seriously the fact that he's gone.
We went to the Top of the Pops launch party and he actually fell over twice because he was dancing that hard, and came a real cropper, just laughed about it, got up, dusted himself down.
Whenever we used to see Liquid News in the diary, it was something that we would really look forward to, more than any other show, actually, I think, for all of us.
When Christopher wasn't on camera, he always had his very own powder pad, and he always used to put powder on himself, and we always used to take the mickey out of him, whoever, like myself and whoever the other guest was, and say, oh, look at you, oh, shut up. You know, a big camp, lovable guy.
The smile, the eyes, just the whole kind of cheeky. He was very cheeky, very funny, very sharp. Just so gutted.
Christopher made me better at my job because he was a tough person to work with. He'd give you some hardball questions that you weren't expecting when you were in a live situation from Sunset Boulevard or somewhere bizarre like that. And he really just was such a perfectionist to a certain extent that it made you a perfectionist, and it made you work that bit harder because you were always trying to keep up with him.
At the moment, I'm just in shock like everybody else. It just seems such a tragedy. This was a man who undoubtedly had a great future in front of him. There's no doubt about that. He would have gone on, I think, to have been one of the foremost broadcasters of his age.
An extraordinary person, really, whose grace, whose sense of duty, whose remarkable zest for life was admired by people of all ages and revered, not just within Britain, but all over the world, and particularly by anyone, of course, associated with horse racing. Oh no, that was the Queen Mum. Still, that does apply to Chris, apart from the horse racing bit.
My name is Christopher Price. I've been expecting you. So let's cross live to Park City and our very own ski bunny, Mr. Tom Brook. Hi, how you doing? Why am I sensing there's a kind of air of a porn set going on there? I don't know why I'm saying that, but I do sense that, Tom.
I just think you've got a very fertile imagination, that's all I'll say.
You're displaying your legs, Tom, for goodness sake. Bless you. But anyway,
I'm going to cross my legs now.
That just looks really camp, Tom.
I have a very large bed.
You wonder how that man can keep it up at 75.
Did you find out? Good evening. These are tonight's headlining stories. We don't want to give you that. Millionaire calls in fraud police after latest jackpot win. And how much is that dog in the window? The new robot pet with a 3-figure price tag. Fetch. I did.
The paparazzi can work from any vantage point. Their zoom lenses would have no trouble getting into any of those windows. And our office, well, that would be easy. Stephanie West, BBC News.
You my dog, yo.
I'm your what?
You my dog.
I'll do that. Talking of which, thousands of gay men assembled in a park, and for once it was daylight. Europe's largest gay and lesbian fandango was held in London's Finsbury Park under the banner of Mardi Gras. Midriffs were naked, whistles were blown, whoever that is, and the cream of Britain's sing-along of Pop-Tarts were on stage. Just saying no to poppers for Liquid News. Alex Stanger.
Hearsay, on the other hand, showed the way to the crowd's love was to sing live.
And hi, Christopher, can't Travis take his shirt off? That's from Ross in Teesside. Do you do that on request?
No, this is not some cheap strip joint. This is an entertainment show,
interactive television. It's not me.
That wasn't me. I'm not guilty. It was her over there.
What about you?
I could go for the full rhino. Do you want me to do that now, or should we wait till after 7:30?
Show me the money.
I'll show you the money. I won't show you the rhino, though.
How long have we got on the show? That's enough time, 25 seconds.
Come on.
Let me just remind you of your new show starting in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
Joe.
This is a
Saturday show.
This is a kids' TV presenter.
Yeah, but you want to see my rhino?
You know what?
Oh, my rhino! Oh, my rhino!
That's it from us. We're back tomorrow night at 7.
I've seen things I shouldn't.
Well.
No, it's not so much a rhino now, more of a mouse.
Plastic TV people are everywhere. And you didn't have to like him, but you were the last person on the planet if you didn't notice him. He tried really hard to make the serious news of show business speak for itself.
He's got a little bit of everything in there. There's a bit of the old wit, and then but there's also that bitchiness. But he tried to be subtly bitchy, and you know, whereas like some of us outrageous queens would go, really going for the kill. But I think he was more subtle, and I think probably a little bit more dangerous with it, because he'd actually get across what he wanted, but without being offensive.
He created such a warm atmosphere there that people just loved it. People really enjoyed it. It's not like work being on that show.
He took a genuine interest and a liking to what I was creating and what I've done over my many years of DJing.
He was such a good on-air performer and such a good television performer, but he also had an intelligence and an ability to ask questions, which made him a good journalist as well as being a good presenter.
I sat down and crossed my arms like that, and he went, no folding your arms. We won't have any defence mechanisms in here.
And we were talking over one another as well, and so he told us off for that. He used to tell us off in between the lengths. He'd go, stop talking over one another and shut up when I'm speaking.
Christopher was a wonderful presenter whom I've had the pleasure of working with on several occasions. He was always a joy, and he'll be a great loss to the industry and sadly missed by us all.
I'll always remember his generosity and warmth, and his uncanny ability to get you to drop your guard when he was interviewing you live. I also think he left his mark on BBC journalism with a rare broadcasting style, which when it worked was fresh, engaging and very human, and it enabled him to reach the audience without any trace of condescension.
I remember one show, it was just full of innuendo. I hadn't have giggled like a schoolboy every time he said like a pun on a rude word, and he of course denied it and looked at me, and it was that sense of fun that was, so engaging.
The only man on national television that would ever make me drop my trousers would be Christopher. The only person I'd do it for would be for Christopher. And I feel stupid saying it, but that's my tribute to him, But I can't believe I'm sitting here saying this in some senses, but I bet there must be a queue of thousands of people waiting to say beautiful things about him, because he was a wonderful person.
Hello, I'm Christopher, I think, and I'm back behind the bar. It's looking camper than ever. We have cheesy Wotsits, umbrellas, and stuffed olives, which is how I feel. We've set up our own big, brother kind of cam experience here at Liquid News, and it's not very interesting, as we think most of the show's probably not going to be. But we've got some shots from the office, and here's what today's Liquid News cam brought up. Let's have a look.
No.
You sure?
No, it's fine. Put your head down slightly.
What are you going to use?
What?
What are you using? Does Dan afford to use that?
No.
Why?
However, whilst thousands of staff have been devastated by the biscuit guillotine that could fall on their sweet treats, some BBC employees, like John, have other worries.
Pile in there, get Boy George, whatever happens.
That was a show business briefing.
George!
Telling me that competition.
They haven't got a microphone.
What have you gone for?
They have
Sorry,
now.
Robert.
Put him on here.
George, hello, it's Sam.
No. What have you gone for today, the look?
You tell me. Oh, Christopher, guess what he's gone for.
Have you come with anyone? Yet.
What are you going to do with my hair today?
Very little.
Well, there's something we can do, isn't there?
Wait.
That's it. That's it. That's had enough. Are you going to apologise for that?
Yes.
Okay. Should we just get back to this? I've got a show to do in a minute. Right.
Stop. Sorry, just lost the first line. Sorry. What is the first line? What am I saying? What am I saying here again? Oh, yeah.
It's Bridget Nielsen, everyone.
Hi.
On the set. Hello.
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 You brought me some gifts, haven't you?
It's a little bit of Vaseline. I saw it. I was watching you before.
Bit chapped.
Bit. May I?
You can.
Thank you.
How are you, by the way? This is
I'm very well.
very
Sorry
happy.
about that, guys. Give us just a sec. No.
What? Well, I don't pout very well.
Well, you should. How are you? Now, check this out. Doesn't he look fabulous?
We first met when he was doing radio night shifts about 9 years ago. He hated those night shifts. He wanted to get off them so passionately. But we knew he wouldn't be there for long because he was so talented. He was so good. He was such a great scriptwriter, a great presenter. And he didn't do those night shifts. He went on to do better things. He was on Liquid News. He was fantastic.
Well, I remember we did a show with Nelly Furtado, I think in August or September, and she was very quiet in the green room, and then she came out and she was suddenly enormously boisterous. Even during the opening kind of straight to camera bit, she was going, "Oh, should I wear my top?" No, we have to take the top off. And Christopher managed to totally stay in control of the situation with someone who came across like a rather mad, crazy Canadian pop singer.
He had an obsession with my breasts. I think it was because they were large, and so we kind of had a bit of fun with that. And while it was Christopher, I let him do that, because I know it was all just fun. It was all tongue-in-cheek with Christopher.
We spent Boxing Day together, Christopher and I, and he came over to the house. He was not actually feeling very well, and I was doing a bit of ladies relaxing cross stitch, and I really don't think he actually ever quite got over it.
He managed to make sort of acerbic and bitchy, incisive, cutting comments without ever really being nasty and without being offensive.
He sailed so close to the wind. I mean, there was a lot of sexual innuendo, which just makes me laugh. It really does. So all that kind, the smut. You know, there was some good smut on Liquid News, and he knew it, and he knew he was getting away with it, and he just seemed to be reveling in it.
I've read all the stuff in the papers, and it all says, oh, he can be so witty and bitchy and blah, 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 but he was terribly sweet and would just give you a little squeeze and look after everybody, and would make sure that if a new researcher was starting that they were all right, or, you know, I would always wear horrible clothes, and he'd say, Claude, you know what, people are getting a bit fed up, can you make an effort?
He was always so welcoming and such a nice person to be able to work with. It really is a loss, not only to, you know, Liquid News, but also to, I think, you know, the viewing public.
I'm sorry I can't come out with anything that's that usual kind of anodyne, sentimental thing, but it just doesn't feel appropriate with Christopher because he wasn't like that.
Someone today was asking me to sum up the best moment of Liquid News, of Christopher on Liquid News, or 030 or Radio 5 Live, and I said to them that really his best moments were off screen, not on the radio. He was just a fantastic friend.
Liquid News.
Live with Christopher Price.
Good evening, these are tonight's headlining stories. Shiver Me Cyber Timbers, Oasis, latest pirate victims and global CD sales slump. I Want to Break Free, Hollywood sign in West Coast boundary tussle. And the bitch is back. Joan Collins chews on Woman of the Year bone. Yes, hello, my name is Christopher. Tuesday's top story, computer users stand today accused of ripping and burning the music industry to fiery shreds.
We've got 15 awards that are going to be handed out at 8 o'clock. Someone rather familiar.
Oh, just arrived as a by chance.
You can't keep up the
What
show,
a surprise. It's my day off. We need to do that again, yeah? Definitely.
Christopher Price. Get into my undies.
Hello, Liquid News.
I love Liquid News.
Get your gorgeous ass down here.
No, did I say that out loud? You're so sexy with your bald head.
You big lovely thing. Love your shiny head, darling. Oh, funny, big lumpy shape.
My mate fancies a Christopher.
That's hilarious.
Darling, you want me to seduce you?
I'm Christopher. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.